Downs. How do you feel about that? Do you feel like you belong here on this team?
Obviously, I think overall as a player, I feel like I put in the work. I feel like everything I do, I try to do it to my best, and that's all I ask for. So
when it comes to the 3s and 4s that you're playing with that aren't going to be on the squad and not going to make the team, give your quarterback a chance. Okay, you know what? You know they can't hold up that long? Let's play quick game. Let's play quick game just to get Shedeur in the goddamn rhythm. But no, you come out calling regular offensive plays that are very long.
When they're at practice, Shadur Sanders is not their priority. When he is at practice, he was staying hours beforehand, leaving hours later.
Last night, Shadur Sanders stumbled in a way that no one could have predicted. After the match, you could see it on his face, broken, frustrated, and filled with doubts like never before. Stefanski, with his relentless pressure, turned our star boy into the punchline, shattering the confidence that had been his rock. In an emotional moment, Shadur Sanders opened up, taking full responsibility for the situation, but you could tell, deep down, the weight of it all was taking a toll. He admitted that he still belongs in the locker room, and while he's committed to putting in the work, it's clear that Stefanski has managed to break a piece of his spirit.
I think with all of our players, Mary Kay, there's things that we can do better, and there's some good moments out there, but that's what our job as coaches, to develop our guys.
Stefanski, however, was adamant that his players were performing well and that it was Shedeur who was at fault. When questioned about the fact that Shedeur had been practicing with the 3rd and 4th team players throughout the week and whether that could have contributed to his stumble, Stefanski remained unyielding. Instead of acknowledging that Shedeur might have been more prepared if he had received reps with the first-team players, Stefanski dismissed the idea. He simply stated that, as a coach, he wants to develop his rookies. But is this really how a coach should treat one of his prospects? Not giving him a single chance with the team reps, then throwing him into a situation where he's asked to run a play he's never practiced? To make matters worse, Stefanski turned Shedeur into the punchline of the entire game, putting him on display in front of the whole world. After watching what unfolded with Shadur Sanders, it's becoming increasingly clear that he was set up for a disaster from the very beginning. Stephen A. Smith made a powerful statement when Shedeur started his first preseason game, and it's resonating more now than ever. He said, "The Browns were setting up Shadur Sanders for failure, and looking at how everything played out, it's hard to argue with that. From the lack of team reps to the questionable play calling, it feels like the whole situation was a setup."
But I'm going to answer this question by saying Shadur Sanders, and I'm going to tell you why. I think he's being set up to fail.
Skip Bayless also weighed in on the situation, criticizing the Browns for how they've treated Shadur Sanders, calling it the worst possible approach. He pointed out that this seemed to be part of a disturbing pattern, with Shedeur repeatedly being mishandled by Stefanski and the Browns. According to Skip, it wasn't just a one-time mistake. It was clear that Shedeur wasn't being given the opportunity or support he deserved. The way the Browns have handled him has only compounded the pressure, making it harder for him to succeed.
I'm outraged, I'm sickened, and I'm saddened. By the way, Shedeur continues to be treated in the National Football League, now by those sorry-ass Browns and sorry-ass Kevin Stefanski.
Despite everything that transpired, Shadur Sanders never uttered a single word of criticism toward his coach or anyone else. Instead, he took full responsibility for his performance and focused on what he can control. Shedeur acknowledged that there are plenty of areas where he needs to improve and made it clear that he's committed to putting in the work to get better. His mindset was all about growth and learning from the experience, refusing to let the setback define him. Like a seasoned veteran, Shadur Sanders fully accepted his mistakes, acknowledging that he could have kept his eyes in better spots during those runs and made smarter decisions to keep the offense moving. He didn't shy away from the blame, taking responsibility for every sack that occurred, saying that those were all on him. It was a mature, self-aware response, showing that he understands the game and is ready to learn from the experience.
No, I gotta watch the film, honestly. I can't say what it was. It's definitely a different place where I could got my eyes in better spots and got to the progressions quicker and regards to anything, you know, so all those sacks, they definitely on me.
However, analysts are seeing things differently than Shadur Sanders. They believe that the real issue lies with Stefanski and how he handled the situation. Ocho Cinco weighed in, stating that by placing Shedeur in a lineup with offensive players who aren't even going to make the roster, Stefanski set him up for failure. Ocho made a bold statement, saying that even if you put someone like Tom Brady in that same position, the outcome would have been no different. With those offensive players around him, Shedeur was always going to struggle. The blame, according to analysts, falls squarely on the coaching staff for not giving him a fair chance. Ocho Cinco also predicted that the haters would soon start to surface, calling Shadur Sanders a failure, claiming he's nothing more than a fifth-string quarterback. However, Ocho pointed out that no one would be talking about the real issue, who set Shedeur up to perform this way in the first place. Despite all the criticism, Ocho made it clear that this is just part of the narrative to bring him down. No matter what happens, it's evident that some people are determined to tear him down rather than acknowledge the true circumstances surrounding his performance.
The nuances.
Listen, we see it. We see it clear as day. But they just on it, oh, he played bad. He's ass. He sucked. He's a fifth rounder. He's not that good. Well, of course, yes, based on what you saw today, but we're trying to tell you why it looked that way.
Ocho Cinco expressed his concern, stating that watching everything unfold has him worried about Shadur Sanders' future, especially if he ends up on another team. He pointed out that the name Sanders alone brings a massive amount of attention, even if Shedeur isn't the starting quarterback. This added spotlight could create a challenging environment for him, as teams may struggle to adjust around the extra pressure and distractions that come with his high-profile name. Ocho fears that this could potentially put Shedeur in a tough spot, making it harder for him to thrive in a new system. In the end, Shadur Sanders has shown immense maturity and resilience in how he handled the aftermath of his struggles. Despite the pressure and criticism, he took full responsibility for his mistakes on the field, acknowledging areas where he could have performed better. His attitude speaks volumes about his character, accepting blame without pointing fingers at anyone else. Yet, the reality is that Shedeur failed long before the game even started. It's clear that Stefanski, through his questionable decisions, put Shedeur in an impossible situation. By not giving him the proper reps with the first team and placing him in a lineup full of players who weren't even likely to make the roster, Stefanski effectively set him up for failure. Shedeur was not given the chance to succeed, and his lack of preparation was a direct result of coaching negligence. As analysts like Ocho Cinco have pointed out, the system around Shedeur was broken, and that burden falls on Stefanski's shoulders. The Browns' treatment of Shedeur was not only unfair, but also detrimental to his development. Now, with the added pressure and criticism piling on, things are going to get tougher for him. With his high-profile name and the attention it brings, Shedeur will have to battle both external expectations and internal struggles within whatever team he ends up with. But despite all the odds stacked against him, Shedeur is ready for the challenge. He's committed to improving, working harder, and proving his doubters wrong. The road ahead may be difficult, but Shadur Sanders has shown he has the heart and mentality to overcome whatever obstacles come his way. What do you think, though? Was Shadur Sanders truly set up for failure, or did he simply make mistakes that he needs to own? Should Stefanski have given him more of a chance with the first-team reps? Or was it just a matter of Shedeur not stepping up when the opportunity came? How do you feel about the way the media and analysts are portraying this situation? Is Shedeur being unfairly criticized, or is there some truth to the idea that he's being treated as a scapegoat? And most importantly, do you think Shedeur can bounce back from this, or has the damage already been done? We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below.